standing 120 metres below sea level in the Danakali Depression in Eritrea, East Africa. The last decade has seen this area become a hotspot for potash exploration, and while most of the development has been focused to the south over the border in Ethiopia, ASX listed Danakali Ltd is finding its own world-class project here in Eritrea. Danakali's plan is to produce a sulphate of potash or SOP product, a highly sought after fertiliser in the world agricultural sector, as Managing Director Paul Donaldson explains.
The depression hosts the youngest evaporite deposit in the world and the shallowest evaporite deposit in the world. We're developing a sulphate of potash project initially, and sulphate of potash is a very different type of potash. There are 4 types of potash sold on the market, but what sulphate of potash is a multi-nutrient chloride-free potash type that fetches quite a substantial premium over the more common potash type potassium chloride. The resource will really underpin a long-term multi-agri commodity project. The Danakali resource here is fundamentally unique. It has a variety of potassium-bearing salts. We're focusing on sulphate of potash initially, but we see decades of growth in this massive resource. So far the resource itself is a JORC compliant 1.3 billion tonnes with a 1.1 billion tonne ore reserve, and this is what really differentiates the Colluli project. So for all intents and purposes the resource itself is world class, but because of the shallow mineralisation and the ability to use the open cut mining method, we get a massive conversion of resource to reserve over 85%. So that will give us many years, in fact decades of growth. Yes, so the DFS demonstrates again what you would term, if you're a major producer, you would definitely term this a tier 1 asset. It's got bottom quartile operating costs, industry-leading capital intensity. We are in close proximity to the coast and established infrastructure, only 200 kilometres or so away from the port of Massawa. For exporting, we're only 70 kilometres from the Red Sea coast. So the metrics are excellent. Development capital is just under $300 million US, 298 million was the DFS number. We're just about to go into front-end engineering, design and optimisation, and we're hoping that we can actually compress that number a bit further. But certainly when you look at the scale of the resource, the scale of the reserve and the size of the capital investment, it would be very difficult to find a project that matches this one. We're just now heading into discussions with regard to the mining agreement, which is essentially the final step to the granting of our mining licence, which will be a significant milestone for us. Next year we certainly expect to secure the funding for the development of the project. We will start our front-end engineering design and optimisation work probably at the back end of this year. That will firm up capital estimates with a higher level of granularity and also hopefully compress that development capital number. And we aim to be in construction by Q3, Q4 2017, 2-year construction schedule, so production hopefully late 2019, early 2020.
The country sits in relative isolation. The UN Security Council imposed various military and economic sanctions on the country in 2011, and it has since restricted Eritrea's ability to attract foreign investment. However, coming to Eritrea, it's not immediately apparent that the country is isolated. And as Paul Donaldson explains, the country has still been able to attract foreign investment, most notably Nevson Resources and its development of the Bisha copper, gold, zinc mine in the country's west.
We've been in Eritrea since 2009. We've drilled over 100 resource holes for the project. We've done test pits, we've built an exploration camp here, and we enjoy working in Eritrea. We find that it's a misunderstood jurisdiction. The people are friendly, and we get things done, and we're comfortable working here. We always encourage people to do appropriate due diligence when they're looking at Eritrea. If you've got the capacity, come here and have a look. It's a fantastic country.